Hey everybody, this summer on Fridays we're going to be using the stories from our children's moment in online worship as the foundation for a bigger discussion about relationships. And today's story from Sunday is about the relationship between David and Jonathan. You might remember David as fighting Goliath with a slingshot and stones, as the named author of many of the Psalms, and as the one who would ascend to the throne as king. You might even remember David's friend, Jonathan. As children, this story presents itself as a simple example of friendship. I'll admit that's the main thing that I hope our own kids see in this story today. But David and Jonathan's friendship is far from simple. Remember that Jonathan is the eldest son of King Saul and probably heir to the throne. But the prophet Samuel had declared David to be the next king, not Jonathan. And then on top of this, Saul develops an intense hatred for David and will chase him all over the country trying to kill him. Not simple at all. Really, most relationships aren't simple. Good relationships take work. They take humility and investment and love. When Jonathan sees something remarkable in David, he puts aside any ambitions he might have had for the throne and supports his friend in all the ways that he knows how. And Saul is angry that his son wants to give away his birthright. He's so angry that it is obvious that David's life is at risk, and maybe even Jonathan's too, by association. So this isn't really a story of just a pair of best friends, nice as though that sounds. This is a story about making really difficult choices for the good of another person and even whole communities. It's a story about a relationship that builds up, that protects, that encourages, that loves beyond the measures of the world. Today, our communities are hurting. Relationships are suffering, and they've been suffering for far longer than most of us even realize. So I find myself wondering how to invest in good, meaningful relationships with people and with communities in ways that make a real difference. But maybe that too starts where all good relationships start, with work, with humility, with investment of resources like time and money and energy. And of course, with love. 1 Samuel says that Jonathan loved David as he loved his own life. Love is where it begins. Love is where God dwells. Love is what God is. Love within relationship is a sacred place where God makes God's self known, sometimes in really surprising ways. One of my favorite Bible verses is 1 John 3:18. And that's been my prayer, especially these days, as I wrestle with how to best love. I invite you to pray this verse today. It says, "Dear friends, children of God, let us love, and not just in word or speech, but in truth and action. May the God of love grant us peace in our hearts, even as we continue to strive for true, lasting peace in our world." Be in peace today.